Well, hello everyone. My name is Jordan Wallace, and I will be speaking to you today on the subject of studying abroad, specifically with the intent to help convince you all that studying abroad is an important and worthwhile educational experience. Simply stated, studying abroad has a significant and positive role in shaping the future of students. With that being said, there are, of course, oppositions to this claim, which include the following 3 points. Studying abroad is too expensive. There is the possibility of the students or individuals missing out on job opportunities at home while abroad, and experiencing culture shock through the difficulty of integrating into the foreign environment. Now, these inspire feelings of homesickness, loneliness, isolation, and in some cases, depression, which, according to an article, Identity and Flex, Negotiating Identity While Studying Abroad, it can be long-lasting effects. So not only do these effects have a moment in their time studying abroad, but they can be carried over and, in effect, cause them to suffer mentally. Hopefully, my following secondary claims will refute these oppositions. 1, studying abroad allows individuals to learn and practice fiscal responsibility. 2, studying abroad broadens prospective career opportunities. And 3, studying abroad encourages global perspectives and intercultural competence. I'm going to back up and clarify some of these terms. Fiscal responsibility, I simply mean financial responsibility. And by global perspectives, I refer to the broader picture of globalization, which, according to the same article I mentioned, Identity and Flex, Negotiating Identity While Studying Abroad, globalization refers to the students' adherence to globally minded attitudes, such as viewing events from a world perspective and valuing solutions to problems that will not only benefit them, but that will also benefit the broader world arena. And in regards to intercultural competence, this is the ability to communicate and interact effectively and appropriately with people of other cultures while not only respecting their values, norms, and their perspectives, but being able to comprehend them accordingly. Now, rewinding back to claim number 1 about fiscal responsibility, this is important not only because for our future to be able to save and plan ahead, but while in a foreign country, you are forced or demand to be aware of exchange rates and currency. This allows you to, as I said, plan ahead and save and not be able to run out of funds or misappropriately use them. That's a word. Moving on to number 2. Sorry, going back to number 1. This is important also in the fact that you buy necessities such as food and groceries, which from personal experience does require thought-out plan and not spending them on going out to the pub that may be next door. Number 2, studying abroad broadens prospective career opportunities. According to a survey by Kendra Preston, which titled Recent Graduates Surveyed the Impact of Studying Abroad in Recent College Graduates, 89% of students found jobs within 6 months of graduating. This includes students that found jobs while still in college. This clearly identifies the fact that students are able to find jobs sooner if they study abroad rather than those that do not. Also, within this claim, students that study abroad tend to have higher salaries in their chosen fields rather than those that stay in a 4-year college. Also, this is backed up by the same survey. And Gretchen Cook Anderson, in her article, Studying Abroad in College Helps College Graduates Make More Money and Land Jobs Faster, states that college graduates who studied abroad in IES programs, IES meaning the Institute for the International Education of Students, earned on average $7,000 more in starting salaries than those from the general population and those who have not studied abroad. In addition to career opportunities, employers seek out employees that have several skill sets, and this includes a language or several languages. And studying abroad provides the opportunity to gain that sort of skill set, and excel in the workplace. Finally, to support the second claim, statistic. Nearly 85% of graduate students felt that studying abroad helped them build job skills, of which 88% felt that experience was effective or very effective in helping them do so. Again, cited from the same survey by Kendra Preston. Claim number 3, studying abroad encourages global perspectives and intercultural competence. Businesses, as I've mentioned before, seek employees to have a global mindset. By this, I mean that students, should be aware culturally aware, adaptable, well-rounded, agile, and able to strategically think in problems. According to an article in the International Educator by Sheila J. Curran, the Department of Defense announced a major initiative to develop foreign language and cultural expertise among its military and civilian members. One example. Another example is the State Department advertises those needs for people to be diverse and culturally aware. And she also states that employers look for specific personal attributes and characteristics, such as the following: honesty, integrity, motivation, initiative, strong work ethic, flexibility, adaptability, and detail-oriented. Through studying abroad, one is able to think through problems, one is able to adapt the situation, and ultimately develop a strong work ethic in a foreign environment by dealing with people out of their culture. To sum up this, I just want to close with a few quick things that also from my experience I've gained, which is that studying abroad allows you to develop your self-identity as well. And though there are stressful moments while in a foreign country, you actually gain more from learning from those experiences, and you are able to gain from the people around you despite any barriers in communication. They're more than willing to help. And you also get the added benefit of creating lifelong memories and friends and seeing the world in a new light. This is why studying abroad is significant and positive role in shaping a student's future. Thank you.
Right, well, the proposition's identified. The phrasing of it's a little complicated because it's got multiple parts to it, and it actually sounds like you have two different claims at the beginning of the speech. When you get to the end, I thought the rephrasing was a little bit clearer, but it does have those multiple parts to it. I thought you did an okay job trying to suggest that there's a reason that you have to have this argument because people doubt the value of studying abroad. They see potential problems or pitfalls that are going on there, and it was kind of interesting to me that you. It was kind of interesting to me that you had the very first piece of evidence that you presented would probably be a piece of evidence that the respondent would want to use, talking about, there could be potential long-term mental harms to people, that sort of thing. I thought, okay, you might want to be a little bit careful about giving them too much of a justification here. I thought the explanation about some other worries were okay, and a couple of hypotheticals would have been fine there. The internal structure is very clearly easy to follow. You signpost the secondary points as claims. I thought that was fine. Your first point is the only proof you have is a hypothetical example. So it's okay, but I'm not exactly sure that we couldn't get the same kind of fiscal responsibility living on campus or having a roommate or any of those sorts of things. Why is studying abroad a unique opportunity? Why is it going to give us any additional advantage over that? I don't really get any proof on that point. Second point, though, I thought it was a lot more effective. That's probably the strongest point because you've got some good statistical information that talks about the success of students who studied abroad, their incomes and how it's affected. You had a couple of quotes about the long-term benefits that come from a financial point of view and career-wise. So I thought that was the meat of the strong part of your argument right there, and there's some good data that you cite there, and you provide source citations for most of the information that you're presenting there that I think are also pretty effective. Although I do suspect that is it the IES that you're quoting frequently, that sort of thing. That, of course, is an organization that's promoting studying abroad, so one of the things that the respondent might be looking at is there some bias that's going on here? In other words, the people who are telling us that we ought to do this, that's got all this benefit to it, they're the ones that are going to lead us on this trip abroad and that I'm going to be writing the check to, and so there might be a little bit of reservation that people would have about that. The third point, it's a little esoteric, what you talk about. I did think that you had a couple of places where you gave us more practical implications as a consequence of that. I did think it was kind of interesting that from a military and intelligence point of view, they want this. I'm not sure exactly that sounds like it's global thinking, except from the perspective of, yeah, we know what the other side's doing, and there's an advantage to doing that. That does seem like a little bit more nationalistic thinking in that sense. But I appreciated the point of view that you're expanding there. I just thought that it may be a little abstract to get much of a concrete argument on. I thought it was extremely well presented. You talked to us the whole time. I mean, when you look down, you're only looking down to get bits and pieces of information. Otherwise, you're looking at us and telling us what the argument is. You understand the point that you're trying to make, and I think that enhances your credibility a lot. All right, thank you.